Good evening. We are playing White Box Western Bounty Hunters using the White Box system and using a Western and Bounty Hunters setting that I've made myself. The title of this adventure is called Bind Them in the Sheaf. Historically, in 1872, the Supreme Court ruled that bounty hunters were a part of the U.S. law enforcement system with a decision in the Taylor versus Taintor case. And if you go and read the case, you can see by this decision it gave bounty hunters more leeway, that they didn't always have to adhere to the due process and laws that most of the law enforcement sheriffs and marshals did, that it gave quite a bit of leeway to bounty hunters to do things that other people couldn't. So we'll find our player characters as being bounty hunters, and we'll find out the reasons of why they're doing that shortly, I'm sure. Um, Historically, this adventure is taking place in May 1874 in the state of Kansas. And also historically, 2 months later in July of 1874, starting in Kansas, they had the Great Grasshopper Plague, which descended upon them and destroyed all of the sufficient abundant crops that had been planted that spring and early summer. And the town is called Marquette, Kansas. It was formed in 1873 in the Smoky Hills region of Kansas. One of the founding fathers was a guy by the name of Hans Hansen. We'll say population was probably around 200 or so. We'll guess the official population in 1890 was 367, so we'll go for around 200 for this game. And as far as historically, that's where that will end as we go into the game portion of this. This mission will deal with the Vine brothers, Darren and Mark Vine, who have perfected the act of stagecoach robberies. They usually quickly subdue the stagecoach. They exit the people, they bind them up in cords and rope, and then they start looting all the valuables from the people and, of course, the stagecoach lines. So far, they haven't injured anybody. Everyone they've taken, they take them at gunpoint, of course, but they haven't injured anyone. And when they leave, they always quote the Bible verse, Psalm 126:6. He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. The S. Marconi Stage Lines has had enough of these two brothers and now has issued a $500 bounty to bring both of them back for trial for the stagecoach robberies. And as we do this, we go into the larger town, maybe in Dodge, Kansas, we'll say, as we do character introductions. You find yourself, Daniel, if you're telling me about who you're playing as you're entering to the office of the S. Marconi Stagecoach Lines.
I'm playing Mabel Smith, that goes by Mother Mabel. She's an older woman. She's in her late 40s, early 50s, so maybe a little bit older than most that would pursue this type of work. But she had found the glory of God upon her shoulders and wanted to bring forth the righteous wrath. And not being the proper sex or skin color to be a sheriff in most places or a rightful law enforcement officer, she took to being a bounty hunter. So she travels with her Bible and a double barrel shotgun.
Law and justice to be served two different ways then. Yeah, and as you make your way into the offices of the stagecoach line, S. Marconi Stagecoach Lines, Crystal, your character is arriving at the same time to get some information on this bounty that you're going to try to collect. If you tell me about your character.
Sure. Can we just say Mabel and Sophie are from the same town? Would that be okay with you, Daniel? Like maybe we just left together?
I mean, yeah, you probably didn't know me when I was younger, but yeah, we could be together now.
Yeah. Okay. So Sophie, she's actually an alewife in her other job Basically, her husband is a tavern owner or
Saloon owner.
yeah, saloon owner. Um, and the town they're from, it's not that great or anything. And Sophie being a young woman who uh, she hasn't been blessed with children yet, so she's decided, hey, I'm going to help take care of this saloon too. And that's why she's become a bounty hunter. She's chasing after the money so that so that she and her husband can uh, build up the saloon, and of course, she makes her proper donations to the local church and everything. Of course, but so hearing about a $500 bounty, that's nothing cheap. So she called up her friend Mother Mabel, and they've decided to go after this bounty together. While my character's name is actually Sophie Mercer, most people refer to her as Ghost, and probably as maybe a bounty hunter legend name. People might know that name. They call her that because of her natural white hair that she's had. She was just born with it.
All right, sounds good to me. As you two enter into the Stagecoach Line office there, a lady greets you, and when you tell her what you're there for, she says a gentleman by the name of Darian Ritter Hoover will be speaking to you momentarily. And this will be the gentleman that comes out to speak to you. He comes through an office there dressed very nice and very well dressed for the day. I didn't expect two women bounty hunters, but please do come in.
Neither will they, honey.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, they certainly never expect women to come for them, which makes it all the more funny when we take them in for justice.
He takes you into his office and introduces himself again and says he's one of the agents of the stage line, and he gives you the basic information that the two Vine brothers, Darren and Mark, have been on quite a spree of robbing the stagecoaches there in Kansas, and especially around Marquette. Evidently, they may have some ties to some friends and or family in that area that they haven't hurt anyone. They bind the people up, take the valuables from them, take the valuables from the stagecoach themselves, and quote a Bible verse and leave. And then of course someone goes out when a stagecoach is overdue and finds the people, everybody tied up. And he would entertain any questions or anything else you would need to begin your journey.
Well, I guess the first obvious question is, what should we be expecting? Does this guy have a gang with him?
He tells you the only information he knows is the two brothers act alone. As far as any, so far they've always acted alone.
Is the reward for both of them? Like, if I were to bring back just one of them, do I get half the reward?
He says that he doesn't have authority to quote bringing back one of them, but the reward is for bringing back both of them for trial.
And what if I bring them back dead?
Well, your young lady, I hope it doesn't resort to violence, since they haven't resorted to violence themselves. But you just contact the proper authorities. There is a sheriff there that patrols around Marquette and some of the other outlying areas, but evidently he's had no success in trying to locate them. But you may check with him there. But if it does come to any violence that resorts in, let's pray there's no deaths. But if it does, I would report to him first.
What's the sheriff's name?
The sheriff's name, I'll put it in chat also. The sheriff's name is Drew Billett.
Okay. Do we know if the Divine Brothers are from this area? Do they have kin or are they just showed up out of nowhere?
Well, stories have got back. Evidently, they do have some friends in the area, but unsure if there's any close immediate family. But they do evidently have friends that are in and around Marquette.
Okay. And is there a church in Marquette?
Yes, there is a good Baptist church.
Okay. Do you know the pastor's name? Church. Okay, cool. They seem to be God-fearing men, so perhaps the church is the first place we'll check.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, and they, of course, y'all have a free ride on one of the stagecoach there to get to Marquette, and he actually suggests this to you. Ritter Hoover suggests to you that their suggestion, Marconi's upper management suggests that maybe once y'all get to Marquette, to just ride some of the local stages back and forth to the towns, and hopefully that you'll be on one of the stages when the two brothers decide to pick that one.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any equipment or supplies you would need, of course, the stagecoach lines would help pay for it there as you begin to leave Dodge.
You know, I'm thinking, I mean, these guys can't just be randomly attacking these caravans, just randomly attacking them, right? Like, I mean, they probably have to have inside information from somewhere to know if they're safe or not, right? Maybe we
Yeah, those lines have regular schedules. That's public knowledge.
You don't get everything you
Okay,
want.
yeah. Well, maybe we can hang around the stage carol for a little while and see if there's anyone suspicious, you know, staring at the sun for too long or something,
And
right?
to say that because of the divorce, we have to do some
We
estate
could try. I think the idea of riding the stagecoach until
reconsider.
they come and try to rob us is not a bad one, although I can't sit that long. So I hope they find us quickly.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, either way, we're probably going to end up having to ride the stagecoach. All right. All right. So let's just sit inside the stagecoach. We'll just, act as if we are, helpless women, and if they attack our coach, we'll have a surprise on them. I mean, after all, they never expect two women to come after them, do they? So I say, let them enter let them attack and enter the carriage, and then when they do, we hold our guns to their face.
It all sounds fine to me. I think we got to find out why they're robbing these stagecoaches and what they're using the money for.
I mean, like we can totally question them once we get them all tied up. We just need, we need to get them in a place where they feel safe with us, so that when they let their guard down, we can take advantage of it.
They can't seek redemption if they don't confess their sins.
I agree. I'm not saying shoot them. I'm just saying make sure that we get that we let their guard down so we can take their weapons away from them, and then we can cuff them, interrogate them, bring them back to town for trial.
Yeah, Mr. Ritter Hoover, he will see you on your way and get you a ticket on the coach to get to Marquette. And, if you wanted, once you got there to settle in, of course, they have to cover expenses at a hotel.
Tony, before we leave, this is like a bigger town that we're in right now, right?
Oh, yeah, we'll say it's Dodge, probably one of the biggest towns.
So I'm going to say to, Marquette, I'm going to say, or I'm sorry, Billet.
Ritter Hoover,
This guy,
agent? Yeah.
I wrote down those two names, but not this guy's name. Cooper, right? So I'm going to say to him, I'm going to get up and I'm going to say, now, I know you stagecoach men have some connections, and what we could probably use is some of that chloroform.
Well, sure. I'll be glad we can get one of the local docs here to bring over a bottle and take with you.
I thank you much.
And he'll go out to his secretary or the lady out front, and you'll see her leave off to go get what you need.
Yep.
What are you thinking? Disarm them and then, or let their attention get away from them and then
What do they say?
smother them?
Well, this here chloroform helps a man sleep.
Right, I get it.
I'd say.
So that's what I'm saying. So let them all pull us out of the caravan or whatever, let their guard down, and then we smother them with the chloroform.
I would love you.
I'm guessing me Googling chloroform right now is probably the FBI is probably like, okay. Probably shouldn't be doing that. We'll just go by my I haven't watched many old TV shows. All right, so that's fine. We'll figure it out. I like to play things by ear.
All right, no problem, Mabel. We'll do that.
But yeah, you're able to get whatever supplies that you would need and require before you leave out of the Dodge.
Yeah, I don't think I need much of that, and my nice cushion to sit on.
And you would know there's actually been sufficient rain this spring and early summer, so the roads are not too dusty, not too bad. The trail isn't riding on the coach. You actually are put on a coach. Stagecoaches would hold 9 people, but you're actually have got more room today. There's only 5 people in there, including you two. So 3 other people as you're riding to Marquette.
Okay. I'm not gonna talk to the people. I'm just gonna read my Bible.
All right. What about Sophie? Was she engaging the people or just kind of stay to herself also?
Sophie's she's gonna sit away from Mother Mabel, kind of act like she doesn't know her. She wants to sit at the opposite end of the train, away from Mabel, so that they can kind of cover both ways. Yeah, Sophie's just gonna kind of she'll grab like a magazine or something like that, or not a magazine, but I meant like a newspaper, something like that. And she'll half-heartedly read it. She kind of wants to keep her eyes up a little bit, certainly looking outside every once in a while, but also trying to keep focus on the inside to see, if anyone makes any sudden movements or anything.
Yeah, just to clarify, you're not on a train, you're on a stagecoach.
Right. Sorry, I don't know why I was suddenly thinking I was on the train.
Well, that's fine. I just wanted you to make sure in case it come into play.
Yeah. What's this stagecoach like? Like, I mean, how big is it?
Most stagecoaches back in historically would hold 9 passengers, but they would all be very cramped. You could hold 9 inside, and I think you could hold up 10 or 12 if people wanted to ride on top. But it's not that cramped. There's only 5 of y'all in there right now, and of course they have a driver, and his sidekick's not with them today.
Okay.
Oh, the sidekick's not there?
Nope, it's just the driver today.
If it's okay, I want to ride up there.
Yeah, the driver would. I guess you've got your shotgun, so I mean, he would he would look at you suspiciously at first because Ritter Hoover didn't explain to him exactly who y'all are.
Right. Well, I look at him and I say, I think maybe the folks inside would prefer me not to be in there with them.
Well, sure, Miss. You're more than welcome. John couldn't make it on this one, but you're more than welcome up here. I hope we don't need the shotgun to come and play. But I don't know. Have you heard about those two brothers that are robbing the coach lines?
I have heard about that. That's horrible.
Well, they haven't hit me quite yet. I've never been on one of them yet, but maybe they won't bother us today. I hear they're good old boys, but they just went the wrong path.
Yeah, still using the words of the Lord for criminal activities is not a good thing. And I cross myself.
All right.
Okay, sorry. Just a question about the wagon I'm in. So is this wagon more like the movie, I know you've seen it, Deadly 8? Like, is this wagon like that they were riding in, that stagecoach?
I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. Just pull up a picture of a stagecoach, Old West stagecoach, and you'll see. I mean, they were all pretty much about the same. I mean, it's an enclosed stagecoach. It was,
Okay, so
that's all I know to tell you.
all right, 2 doors. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Sophie will. What side of the road are we traveling on? Right side, I guess.
There's only one road. I mean, they don't have lanes.
All right. All right. I'll just sit near the left door, or near the right door, so I can. Because Sophie is probably right-handed, so yeah. So Sophie will sit near the right door so that she can aim out that door she needs to with her right hand.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
So Stacey, you're trying to strategize that I'm on the right side because I'm riding my gun. Probably right.
Okay, and Sophie is sitting on the left side. That'll probably be better for aiming anyway. Because right-handed.
That's correct, right, Tony? I'm not sure, but I think that the shotgun is on the right side, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, the shotgun will be on the right. My understanding.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sophie will sit on the left. And she also,
you can sit on the left.
So she's facing the horses.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. You can still sit on the left and face, facing forward, looking out forward. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sit facing the horses on the left side.
Y'all make a couple stops at a couple of the, stop deals. They refresh the horses. Y'all can get out, stretch your legs, and eventually you make it to this very small town of Marquette without any issue. The driver tells you Mother Mabel thanks for keeping them company up there, but he's headed on to the next stop, and they pick up a couple passengers there in town. You two get off, and one of the other passengers get off there in Marquette. The rest of them stay on board as they pick up a couple more up, and then he leaves out pretty soon. And you see, this is a very small town. You see a small office over there that has the word sheriff crudely painted on a sign.
Well, I wish him well, the driver, and so I hope to see you around. And then when I see, Sophie get out of the coach, I kind of look at her, and then I kind of put my head towards the sheriff office, and I start walking that way.
All right.
Sophie nods, and she's just going to kind of follow Mother Mabel. She's going to keep her head up still, sort of looking around the town itself.
Oh, you know what, Tony? I think I didn't, my AC is 12, I think. That day was 14.
Yeah, you told me 14, but but you actually you get class bonus. So 12 is the base, and your class bonus should be probably +2, I would think. Let me look.
Oh, let me just look. Okay, because I was just realizing that I was looking at the wrong line. Sorry.
Yeah, it'll be 14 because your base is 12, and your just for third level Sin Buster is +2, so you have 14. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought I messed up because my hit points were also 14, so I was like, did I put the same thing twice? Okay.
No, you are good to go.
Okay.
As y'all make your way to the sheriff's office and walk in the door, you see this gentleman sitting behind the desk. He appears to be, probably early 50s. Got this handlebar mustache that goes across a pretty light, almost ginger-looking beard and hair as he's sitting there, and seems to be just kind of twiddling his thumbs.
Hmm.
As both of you walk in, he goes, well, ladies, do you have a problem?
Yeah, we do have a problem. There's a couple of people going around robbing stagecoaches and using the Lord's name in vain. And my friend here, she surely hates it when people use the Lord's name in vain.
Well, no, ladies. I'm of course the sheriff here in Marquette and some of the surrounding counties and stuff. In fact, I just got back in the office here. I've been out royally trying to find those two boys. Yeah, they've been taking all these coaches, and I just can't catch them.
Hmm.
You can tell after he says that. You can actually tell by looking at him. He's not sweaty. He doesn't be dust or mud. I mean, you can tell that he's probably not really been out anywhere.
Yeah, he's not making a lot of
It's easy to tell that.
Yeah, so I say to him, so the S. Marconi stage line asked us to take a look around and see if we can help out because it's a lot of work for just one man to be out here trying to find them. Looks like you've been working hard and all, but we wanted to know if you had any information beyond what we already have, which is the stages that have been robbed.
Bounty hunters, I take it.
I work for the glory of the Lord. And $500.
He actually chuckles at that. And he says, well, would y'all like a cup of coffee first?
That would be fantastic. Thank you so much, sir.
He gets up, and like I say, you can see his pants are clean, his boots are polished. I mean, he's not been out anywhere doing anything. You can just tell the way he's dressed more like a political figure than anything you would think. But he gets both of you a cup of coffee, and he sits back down. He says, well, let me tell you what I know about the two brothers. Well, hold on just a moment. I got a couple posters here, but I'll show you what they look like. And I will show you Darren and Mark Vine. That is Darren and Mark Vine. Darren is the older of the two. Both of them are very handsome guys. They both have these big, huge mustaches. They could almost look like twins if not for Darren, who has gray hair, and Mark still has this dark brown hair. Well, I can tell you the two boys, they got friends around here, but I think some of the friends have been, well, maybe not hiding them out, but not telling everything they know. But I think what they're doing is they're hitting these coaches and running up in them smoky hills and staying up there and maybe hiding their loot up there. And that's just me guessing, And like I say, now I get out quite a bit. I've been trying to track them, and I haven't found any trails that they're making, but what's the strangest thing about it is these two boys' daddy was a preacher.
Was a preacher. Where's he at now?
He got killed in a stagecoach robbery.
Let's see.
That seems slightly ironic.
Do you know much about that case?
No, it happened a few years back before I was elected to office, but their daddy was a preacher. And he was, I don't know. I heard that he tried to grab the gun away from the old boy that was robbing the coach. Now, of course, that old boy was finally hunted down, and he hung from a good rope, so he's not out there no more.
Right. And the stagecoach company didn't have any guards?
Evidently not on that Not on that day. For some reason, it was just the driver.
Hmm.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
I hate you. Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. So she nods. She says, well, have you got any trackers or any trappers to come ready into town that we can hire somebody out to help us track them down?
Well, and then, like I say, now he starts, primping up a little bit. I can go out and help you some, but I got a lot of duties here in town to take care of too. A lot of official stuff.
Yeah, of course. Well, also, you're such a well-known figure. They see you coming, they're going to hide. I'm thinking more like a beaver trapper or something that we could maybe give a couple coins to keep an eye out for him. Somebody you might know that comes into town doesn't have any connection here.
Well, I'll put the word out, but there's really no locals around here. Everybody's in that farming and stuff like that, and raising them crops. But I can put the word out and see what I can do.
Okay. I'm going to. Did there seem to be? I mean, obviously, we're only in town for a minute, so I didn't really look around. But did there seem to be other black people?
Roll me a d6.
Okay. 6.
Yeah, you noticed probably 5 or 6 more of it was milling around town there while you were there.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. All right. So I'm going to thank the sheriff, and I'm going to say, I think we'll rest up a bit and clean up, and we're going to ride a couple coaches to get a feel for the area.
Well,
And,
like I say, now y'all just come back if you need. I mean, I'll be glad to help you any way. I got to get the monthly papers done here first, though.
mhm.
So he's listening to the guy. You said that he's like obviously well dressed and hasn't been out anywhere. Well, I don't know. I don't know how I could possibly determine such a thing. So maybe it's only just an idea in Sophie's head that maybe this guy's involved in some way. Like, does Sophie think that that's possible, or is there anything she could like?
You can roll a d6 for me.
Okay.
I suppose you could say I wish milk.
A 2.
A 2? Yeah, you'll succeed with a 2 with a non-professional skill type deal. You get nothing uneasy about this guy. You can just tell that this is one of those political positions that he's the sheriff, but then again, he's not going to make any extra effort to put himself in danger to do.
Are there? Does he have any like any other like deputy or anything under him?
You haven't seen any. Nope.
All right. I'm gonna ask him. Do you have any other people under your belt, Sheriff?
Well, I've been able to keep the peace around here for a long time. There's not much goes on in Marquette or around here. It's just always been quiet until the Vine boys come along.
Yeah, I understand that. So, have you noticed any kind of connection between the trains that they're robbing? I mean, is there anything that the trains have in common at all?
Well, darling, we ain't got no railroad lines through here. You talking about the stagecoach?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like back where I come from. We'll say that a few stagecoaches will run a train. So that's local language football there. I apologize, but yeah, the stagecoaches that run back and forth. Have there been any connections between the ones that they choose, like any that they're carrying particular items or anything?
No, not. Like I say, now I've done quite a bit of investigative type work in this, and there's nothing I've run across. Of course, Marconi is one of the bigger stage lines that goes through here, and they've hit quite a few of them. But it just seems like they always take whatever quick valuables they can and tie the people up and ride off.
Do you have any copy of that paperwork that you'd be willing to part with, sir?
Well, sure. Look right here, and he pulls out this big ledger, this big book. It's written in this very fancy writing, and he says, "Well, you can read right through here. I keep good notes."
All right, Sophie would like to fish through there, and since she's an alewife, I'm gonna guess that maybe keeping up with the finances would be something she would do. So can I look through this ledger with that kind of knowledge and see if I can find any commonalities between like the freight that's being moved and stuff like that?
Yeah, roll your d6, yeah.
Okay. That is a 1d6. All right, I gotta roll that. I think I just rolled the wrong dice by mistake. They got lost in the shadows. I rolled a 1.
Yeah, I mean, you're confident there's nothing that stands out that catches your eye. I mean, it just seems to be, just random. He's made very good notes and there's dates and all that, but everything seems to be, they're just hitting stagecoaches along the main road in and out.
All right, sounds good enough. All right, okay, Sophie's happy with that.
Okay. Well, while she was looking that over, I'm going to go outside and try to locate the other black people and try to talk to them.
Yeah, you can find you see mostly it's women, but you see one which would appear maybe more of a man and a woman, husband, wife, probably. But you see, they'll be glad that when they see you there, they'll be glad to talk to you.
Okay. Yeah. So I walk up to whoever's the closest, and I say, "Hey there, I'm in town on some business, and about the stagecoach business. You hear much about that stuff going on?"
Yeah, and a lady that would appear she could be your sister, as far as age probably and description of you. I'm Miss Henrietta. Yeah, we've had quite a bit of them stagecoach lines being there's them two boys. Now they're pretty boys. Now don't get me wrong. They was raised in a preacher family, but they've been robbing the coaches.
Yeah. Do you know anyone that's got some skills in hunting that might give me a hand in locating some tracks or where they might be camping out?
Well, not offhand. Now, I can do some talking around the house tonight and stuff, but a lot of times we don't get much going on around here. But if he is, I would think they're probably heading up in them Smoky Hills there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that sounds fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go see the pastor now and see what he's got to say. You have a great day.
Well, yeah, you enjoy your visit here.
Thank you. And yeah, I'm gonna head off towards the. If I see her coming out, I'll wave her over to me. But if not, I'll head over to the church while she's still doing. I don't know how long the going through the books took. So.
Yeah, Sophie, would you go out to touch base with Mabel again, or are you still gonna?
Once I get done at the sheriff's office, once I get through looking over the notes, I know Mabel and I would say we worked together before, right? So she probably knows that I'll probably be hanging around the tavern because, again, I'm an alewife. That's gonna be the place I know where to go, and I know how to talk to people with that profession. So I'm gonna go see if I can find out anything over at the local saloon.
Yeah, we'll start with you then. You go over as the Red Dirt Saloon.
All right. Yeah, so Sophie will walk up. She'll enter. First thing she'll look around, see how busy the place is, and if there are any unsavory types.
When you go in, it's a very small establishment. I mean, being a very small town, I mean, there's not much to this establishment. And roll me a d6.
I rolled a 3, and again, I'm an alewife. I don't know if you're going to allow that to count or not, but 3.
You see 3 people in there at this time of day as y'all have arrived. You see one, what appears to be a very short, older man behind the deal. He's just kind of rubbing on the bar there with a barkeep towel. But you see 3 other people, but they all seem to be probably local citizens. I mean, they're all very well, nice dressed.
All right. So Sophie will walk over to the older guy, looks like the owner of the place, and she'll say, Howdy. Red Dirt Saloon, huh? Yeah, my husband called his place the Trailblazer Saloon.
Oh, your husband owns a saloon? Where you from, girl?
I'm down in Albuquerque. Travel a
Well,
little ways.
that's a lot near bigger town than this one. We don't have much go on around here, as you can probably already tell. But well, thank you much. I try to keep everything looking pretty.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of reminds me of my place home. I can't wait to get home and see my husband again. Be nice if I could finish up the business that I'm here on, so I could get back to him. You know how well, you being a man, you know how difficult it is to live without your woman. Surely.
Well, now, and you can tell, like I say, this guy's older. He's more of a grandfather type figure when he says this to you. He says, well, a pretty young lady like you, what would you be doing in a small town like this out on business by yourself?
Oh, well, I don't travel alone. The Lord goes with me everywhere I go. And that said, the Lord has me on a path right now of a $500 bounty.
You must be looking for them boys, those two brothers.
Yeah, they say ghost is hunting for them.
Well, they act like ghosts the way they take them stagecoaches so quick.
Okay, so Sophie realizes that no one knows who Ghost is around here. It could be good, could be bad. Any particular rumors about where them boys are staying at? Or
No, they don't. They don't really have no family around here. No. Years ago, their daddy lived here, but their daddy got killed. Well, it's kind of what's that word? Irony. They got his daddy got killed in a stagecoach robbery.
yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah, it must be terrible to, or I wonder what would possess the boys to, want to make other people live through that. I mean, of course they ain't heard no one yet, but man, I would hate to see what would happen if things went wrong once.
Yeah, I dread the day that somebody draws a gun on them. You know how guns are. Everybody draws them guns, and then the bullets start flying, and somebody is brought to the undertaker.
Yeah. You know what you say? Well, you know what they say where I'm from. They say, before you draw your gun, make sure to dig your own grave.
Yeah, that can be true. I'm Ezekiel, by the way, and he reaches out, to shake your hand.
My name is Sophie Mercer, and she will take his hand petitely.
Well, you said you was a praying girl, a lady of the word. We got a Baptist church here. Old Preacher Johnson, he puts on a pretty good sermon. If you get a chance to go down there.
Well, if he's a preaching, I'll certainly try and get in there and listen to what he has to say. And how much would like a whiskey cost, Tony? Like just thing of whiskey, like a drink.
Like a shot of whiskey? I mean, you just
like a shot on the rocks.
Yeah, you just throw a coin down, whatever coin you have with you.
Okay, whatever, like however much it costs. Like if it costs say like a quarter, whatever. I'm gonna put double the amount that it would cost, and I'm gonna say, thank you for your word. You just give me a shot of that whiskey on the rocks, and she'll give him a wink. And that extra money, of course, is for thanking him for the information that he did give.
Well, you're quite welcome, young lady. Now, you be careful out there. You can go talk to the sheriff, but all he's going to do is tell you a bunch of book work. He ain't much of a hands-on, if you know what I mean.
They never are they? They don't ever seem to get to that saloon on time when the bullets started flying.
Well, luckily we ain't got no bullets been flying in this one, but But that's all I know to tell you. So good luck. You be safe out there.
You too, sir. And she will take her drink, and she's gonna just go sit back in the corner, maybe by the piano, whatever, in a place where she can keep her eye on everything that's going on around her, and wait for Mabel to be done.
Yeah, and you notice the three locals that are in there. They haven't paid any attention to you. Besides, I mean, they nod at you to greet you, of course. But as far as they don't really pay any attention to you being a stranger in town, because I'm sure they have them in and out on the coach.
Yep.
Mabel, you make your way over to the Baptist church. What you see is the Baptist church, and uh, no one's around it or stuff. The doors are closed. Oh, you muted, Mabel.
Okay. I mean, if the doors are closed, I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna knock fairly loud. But if I don't hear anything, I'm just gonna open the door. I'm assuming a church wouldn't be locked. But if it's locked, then I'll figure it out.
You don't get any response back, maybe when you yell out, but yeah, of course the doors are open, and you enter to a very small chapel area. I mean, of course, it's a small town, so I mean, you can tell it's a smaller church, but it seems to be an older type, building, and you see a guy come out from the back, and he says, "Well, I thought I heard somebody knocking on the door. What can I help you with, Miss Lady?"
Hey there, I'm Mabel, and I'm looking for the preacher. Would that be you?
Yep, and you see that he appears probably to be maybe in his 40s. He's a very short man, probably maybe not even 5'4", but he's kind of a heavy set guy. And he says, "Yeah, I'm John Johnson. Yes, ma'am. I'm the preacher of the word."
Nice to meet you, Mr. Johnson. So I got some business in town. Oh, I should probably point out that I would have put my like if there's like pews or something or seats, I'll just put my gun down and then I'll walk away from it. So it's just so I'm not holding a gun.
All right.
I just like sit it down and then I start walking towards him and I say, "I'm in town working for the stagecoach company, looking into these thefts, and it seems to me that these boys are a religious type. Now I know that it's your job to make sure that everybody stays safe, but if they got a righteous reason to be doing what they're doing, then perhaps we can talk."
Well, I'm afraid their souls are well, they're never lost, but they seem to be on a path right now. The devil must be talking to them two boys. I didn't know their daddy. I've heard stories that their daddy was, well, in fact, their daddy many years ago was the preacher here. Um, he,
Oh my goodness.
their daddy got killed, though, and he got killed during a stagecoach robbery.
Yeah, I heard that. I didn't realize he was a preacher here. Brave man, from what I heard. And I could see two boys being upset, their daddy being killed and all. But resulting
Yeah,
in
you
crime,
know,
that's not the way to go.
their mama took them away from here. They were quite a bit younger. I don't know. Darren's the older one now. He's probably about I'd say 10 years older than Mark. But their mama took them away from here, and they didn't have any more family. And I don't know why they come back here to do the work of the devil.
Do you know if the daddy's buried here?
Well, yeah. I think their daddy was buried on their old farm place just outside of town, if I remember right. Stories I heard.
Wonder if there's a marker or not. I'll have to check that out.
Well, I don't know. That farm is owned by somebody else now, but I just don't know.
I asked him, what's the name of the farmer that owns it? Or if there's not a name, then that's fine. We'll farm buried.
Yeah, he tells you that the Jones,
Jones.
Marcus Jones, is the one that owns that property now. He's one of the local farmers.
Okay. Very good. All right. I mean, that's good. I find out when the next, when he does his, I guess Sunday, right? Is when they usually do stuff. So, what day
Yeah,
of the week is
roll me a. I did say roll me a D8. D8 minus 1.
it? All right. 8. It's today Sunday. That guy will be right.
We'll say it's Saturday. We'll say you ride on Saturday, so we'll say, well, tomorrow's the Lord's Day. You're more than welcome to come listen to the sermon.
I'll be here. Y'all do a breakfast as well. I should bring something.
Well, no, some of the local ladies, we'll sometimes after service we'll have a little luncheon out there on the grounds, but I don't know if there'll be much here tomorrow or not.
All right. Well, if I can be of any help, you let me know. I'm staying over at wherever I'm staying. I guess the hotel or whatever. I'm assuming there's only one place to stay in town. So.
Yeah, and it's a very small,
Yeah.
kind of like a boarding house type deal. I mean, it's very small, but he tells you that you have a lady there who'd be glad to help you.
Okay. I thank him, and then I leave and, of course, pick up my shotgun as I'm walking out. And I close the door behind me. And I'm going to head over to, before I go back to pick her up at the saloon, I'm actually going to go back to the sheriff again.
All right.
And I want to find out from the sheriff about the farm, the Marcus Jones, about the farm. Like if he knows about the plot where the father's buried, and if it's there or not. And if not, if he could introduce me to the owner.
Well, yeah, now Marcus, I forgot to say that earlier, but you're right. Old Marcus did buy that land that the boys. Well, I guess they kind of was raised there at first until their mama took them away from here. But yeah, I could take you out to meet Marcus. Well, I don't know if we could go this afternoon. No, I got quite a bit of work here to do, but I could tell you how to get there, or we could go. Well, and then tomorrow's the Lord's Day. He'll be in town in the morning, I'm sure, for service.
Yeah. I want to see the marker, and I'd rather not drive out there on my own. So I'll wait till tomorrow. Thanks, Sheriff. And I leave and go. I head to the saloon.
Yeah, and you see him just shuffling papers around like he's working on papers while you're there.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think showing up on his property is a good idea. So I'm going to just go back to the saloon, and I'll walk in and get a glass of water or something.
Yeah, the saloon owner greets you, and of course he sees that you probably go to where Sophie is, or make contact with her, and he greets you very cheerfully and brings you whatever you would want.
Yeah, and I'll tell her the information I have, and I'll say I think we're getting a little bit of a story here. Seems to me that boys seeking revenge from a father that was killed, not protected properly on a stagecoach line. I think what we can do is find the marker, leave some kind of note there. They're probably going to go see him, though I would have liked to have done it before Sunday. But I don't want to walk on that property by myself, well, with us by ourselves, without knowing this man. We don't know what his deal is.
Yeah. Sophie, just to let you know, like her drink, she's been drinking it real slow, like letting the ice melt into it a lot, so that she doesn't get as much alcohol, because she doesn't actually want to be too tipsy or anything while she's away from home. But yeah, she'll also share what she's learned with Mabel, and then after hearing what Mabel has to say, she will say, "Yeah, I agree. Seems like a good idea." I was thinking the same thing, that maybe they're just wanting to scare people and try and raise security. Of course, they're going about it the wrong way. And sooner or later, things are going to go real wrong. I don't want to see them boys in real trouble with dead or alive money on their heads.
Bye.
And Mabel nods. She's gonna actually. She's gonna say, maybe you could ask the barkeep if this Marcus Jones is a regular here, and to let us know if he comes in while we're here.
Yeah, I mean, I did kind of ask that earlier, didn't I, Tony?
No, you wouldn't have known about the farmer back then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, the farmer. All right, yeah. Sure. No, it shouldn't be a problem. So, is there a plant or anything around?
Is
Like
there a what?
a potted plant?
Oh no, no.
Um, all right, fine. I'll just finish the rest of my drink. It's probably pretty watered down anyway. Um, and then I will head back up to the bar to talk to the bartender.
You okay?
Well,
And
now you want another one of them drinks, lady? Then I don't think you be drinking too many tonight.
yeah, and I don't want to get too tipsy away from home. I might start playing that piano over there, and then who knows what might happen from there. Uh, but I'll take one more. Tell me, what's Marcus Jones usually get when he comes in here?
Oh, Mr. Jones, the farmer, he's not a man of the drink. I've never he comes in here and speaks, but he's never ordered any of that of a drink before.
Really? Huh. Well, and, so he's a good man, follower of the Bible.
Well, he says he is, but he's pretty strict on he's got some of those. He leans down kind of low and quiet, and he says, "Well, he's got a couple of slaves that work on his farm, if you know what I mean."
To me,
Mm.
that we
Mm,
were in a relationship.
I hear you.
No, you're right about all those things.
But now he's a good man. He treats everybody, and he treats them kind and stuff. But
We're in a relationship.
he's a little different.
Treat him kind. I hear you.
Sex was
Well,
all of it was I enjoy.
but he doesn't. He said he doesn't drink. So is that? I mean, is that because of his religious conviction, or is it just because he's strong? You know, he thinks he's better than that, or something.
Well, now, darling, he starts chuckling. I ain't got no crystal ball, so I can't answer that.
Your friend, I don't know.
I
Son
understand.
doesn't like me. I'm not mad about it. I don't like your husband.
Word is
Are you sure about that? You don't
that's
know
where
that
the
there's
father's
a
supposed to be buried, right, Tony?
menacing little twat.
On his
Yeah.
left.
Yeah,
Right.
if you ask Ezekiel about it, he says, "Well, that I think the Vine family did own that land many years ago, but I don't know, but his daddy may be buried out there."
Hmm. Now, if that was their daddy's land, why wouldn't they currently own it? Isn't that stuff usually inherited?
Well, now you got to understand, darling, when all that happened, them boys were much younger, and they weren't of age to have any rights, property rights, or nothing. And their mama sold the land, and they all left here.
Ah, okay. Mama sold the land too. Okay. All right. So makes sense. Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Oh, one other thing. Now this Jones guy, do you think he would mind if we were to come up and ask to see that marker that's supposedly out there? Or you think that he's the kind to shoot at trespassers, if you know what I mean?
Oh no, darling, there ain't no violence going on around here. I mean, we protect ourselves, but it ain't gonna come to that. Mr. Jones, as long as you up front with him, he be up front with you.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Because my mother will juice up for company. Then she's
All right.
up the split.
Well, thank you for your time. And again, I'll pay him with 2 coins.
I was going to tell you she's upset.
Yeah, he would tell you how to get to the Jones farm if you wanted to go. He could tell you how to get there.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you want me to tell my mom to get out there?
Well, that would be
So I'll go back and I'll
I
join
just wanted you to know, though.
Mabel,
She did.
and
What's the deal with
I'll tell
whispering?
Mabel.
When did she become a whisperer?
You know, it might be best if I go out there and speak with Jones about myself tomorrow.
You know, just fucking. I hear that shit.
Well, now if you go tomorrow, it's Sunday, but they'll probably all be coming to town.
Oh, okay, they'll be coming to town. Okay. So I'll go back and I'll tell Mabel. That's right. Yeah, so Mabel would have told me that he'll be coming to town tomorrow. That's great. So I'll go to Mabel, and I'm going to tell Mabel basically, you might want to stay out of sight and let me talk to Jones by myself tomorrow. Words is that he doesn't, well, he's not as progressive as my husband now, let's say that.
Thank you.
For what?
Just for letting me
It's
there.
me.
I like a lot of things about this up there, like
all right.
up near the top.
Well, I mean, the thing's
I'm gonna
so what you say, but that's never going to be as bad as what
I guess my I guess I don't know if I'd have. I guess probably paper. I'm gonna take out some paper and a pen, and I'm gonna jot down on a piece of paper the Bible verse, Romans 12:19.
All right.
Don't seek revenge yourselves, beloved, but give place to God's wrath. For it is written, vengeance belongs to me. I will repay, says the Lord. And I write that on a note. And I say we should leave this at the marker.
For a little while.
Sounds good to me.
Shower.
Sounds like something they'll respond well to.
Are you going out there this afternoon on Saturday afternoon, Sophie, to make contact with Jones? Or you're just going to wait till Sunday when they come into town?
I mean, they're coming into town tomorrow. I'm sure we can wait till then. Hopefully, I don't think they'll be attacking or it's noon, like, I'm sorry, it's noon as in like, what, 1 or 2 in the evening?
months ago.
On Saturday right now, we after y'all got into town and did all this, we'll say it's after lunch.
I feel
Okay, all right. Oh, okay. How far away is the Jones farm then? I'm sure that's what information I would have got.
Oh, he'd tell you if you walked out there, it'd take you about 10 minutes probably to walk up there.
All right. So Sophie's gonna take the Sophie will take the note then.
I want to. A lot.
Do we know where the marker is?
No, you have no idea if there's even one there.
Frank,
I know.
Okay.
Jesus, no. You don't know. You never could. Why should we need you for now?
Let's see. The only I just
Right.
Sophie was bringing Mabel because what she heard about this guy on the slaves and everything.
Yeah. Well, you need to
That's what I need to know.
ask Jones first of all for permission, but then ask him if there is a marker, and if
Yeah,
there is,
yeah.
we're going to go see it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. I mean, that's all we got to do. If there's not, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's fine by yourself. I don't think maybe we'll stay in town.
Yeah.
So she'll go on like one of the porches out front, and just pass the time reading the Bible.
Sounds good. All right. Yeah. So stay here, get you something to eat, whatever. Read your Bible. If there's a marker, I'll be back and I'll let you know, and then we can go out there together, or I'll just leave the note.
Really?
Just investigate around the marker and then leave it know.
Yeah. So yeah, she takes the note from you that you made, and then she's gonna go ahead and head out to go see Jones.
Yep, you make it out to his farm. You can tell it's probably one of the nicer ones in this area. Very well maintained. The crops, like I say, the weather has been great. There's been like sufficient rain in spring and early summer up to May of 1874. But you see people working in some of the fields, and as you make your way up to the house and the barn area itself, you see a older man, appears to probably be in his early 60s, but he is very physically fit and very. You can tell he's worked all his life. I mean, he's out there and he sees you coming up, and I don't need no more workers right now. Is that what you looking for a job?
No, I'm looking for Jones. I have a favor to ask of him. Is that you?
Well, I guess it all matters who's asking.
Well, someone who's looking for a $500 bounty is asking, to be honest. But don't get me wrong, I'm not looking to cause any trouble. In fact,
Now, girl, I ain't done nothing. I ain't done nothing to have no $500 bounty on my head. So I think you got the wrong place.
No, sir. You've heard about them boys, Robin those caravans back and forth.
You talking about the Vine boys that's robbing the stagecoaches? Yeah, we've all heard the stories.
All right, well, now, through, snooping around, it's supposed that their father is buried on this land somewhere. And I'm hoping that I can find where that man's buried, because I think I might be able to contact the boys from there and ask them to turn themselves in.
Well, like I say, maybe that long hair is covering your ears where you don't hear too well. I done ask you, who's asking?
My name is Sophie Mercer, sir.
Ah, Sophie Mercer. Well, that's a pretty name. I'm Marcus Jones.
When if you get ready.
Yes, sir.
But what would Sophie Mercer want to know about anything about the Vines for?
Like I said, I'm hoping that I can get them boys to turn themselves in without any more bloodshed, or without any bloodshed. Not that there's been any yet, but they keep robbing those, caravans up and back and forth. Bound to happen eventually, right?
When he's standing there talking to you, he's been holding on to a hoe, like a garden hoe, and he just drops it and bursts out into this just raucous laughter. And then when he quits laughing, he goes, "Oh, darling, you're gonna stop the Vine boys. I think when you see them two boys, you're probably gonna fall in love with them, and you'll be following them. They might near handsome boys, I guess you could say."
Well, that might happen, but first I gotta get in touch with them. So does Sophie Mercer have your permission to search on your land for their father's grave?
No, you don't. And he starts turning back into a kind of a asshole answer. No, you ain't going on my land. You ain't got no business here.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got nothing to do with the Vine boys. My family bought this land from their mama years ago, and this is Jones' land now. It ain't nothing to do with Vines, and never will be. Yeah, their daddy's got a little bit of rock stone up there where he was buried at, but there ain't no need you snooping around. Because I tell you, the boys ain't been here, and they won't be coming here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's all the same to you. I would just like to take a little peek. It's not going to cause you any harm, sir.
Well, if it's all the same to you, if it's all the same to you, I think our conversation's about to end. I got work to do, and you probably need to head on back to town.
Yes, sir. Just as gracious as I heard you were. You have a nice day.
And he just stands there and constantly stands there and stares at you as you walk away, as you leave.
All right. I'll head back to Mabel then.
What's your charisma, by the way?
My charisma is a 15 actually, +1 modifier.
Yeah. Even as you were trying to be diplomatic and charismatic, I mean, you could just tell this guy is just straight. I mean, it's his way or no way.
Yeah. I mean, what can you expect from slave owners? Yeah. All right. So Sophie will head back to Mabel then, and she'll relate to Mabel. Basically, Jones is an asshole. Not only is he racist, he's also apparently very sexist. And he says that there's a rock out there that marks where the boy's father was buried, but he's not allowing anyone to investigate, even though, quote unquote, he's innocent. He has nothing to do with it.
Well, when he comes into town tomorrow, that rock's going to be all by itself, right?
Well, Mabel, now I can't let you miss your church, but you're right. It will be by itself.
Not me, honey. You.
Oh, I know. I know. That rock isn't going to be alone, so don't you worry about it. You just promised to turn my body home if you happen to find it lying around that rock later. Or if Miss Jones does. Hell, I'm not even convinced he'd tell anyone.
I missed what you just said there.
I was just saying, like, Sophie's just saying, you know, basically, Deborah wants to take her body back if something happened to her.
Oh, jeez. That's morbid.
No, I mean, it happens, though. Sophie's not stupid. She'd realize it. It's possible.
Well, if you're sensing that much danger, hon, you shouldn't go. We'll find another way. What do we know when the next stagecoach that we're supposed to go out on anyways is? It's not Sunday, I'm guessing.
Yeah, if you check the deal, there's another one that's due in later this afternoon. It's coming not from the way y'all come, but from the other way. And there's one not due in that afternoon.
Oh, really? Okay. Jeez. Seems awful soon to leave, though.
Yeah, great.
Then we know it's coming in from another direction. I wonder if we can wrangle a couple horses and drive out to meet it.
That's what I was just thinking.
We think alike. So I guess we got to go to the sheriff, who's not going to be very helpful, but we'll give it a shot. Or is there just a stable here that we could rent a horse from?
You do see a very small stable there. It's very small.
Okay. Yeah, because they must switch out horses out and stuff, I guess. So yeah, let's go to the stable and see if we can get some horses.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, and you're able to make contact there. It's a younger guy. You would think probably maybe around Sophie's age, or a little bit older than Sophie. And well, ladies, what can I do for you?
Hey there. We're hoping to rustle us up a couple of horses. I'm going to go look out on the roads and paint some pretty pictures, I think.
Oh, you want to buy a couple horses in, or what?
Just rent them. Just rent a horse and, bring them back.
Well, I tell you what, if you're gonna rent them, I don't know. We ain't had no horse thieves here, but I tell you what I do. Usually y'all look like two respectable young ladies. So what I do is, you have to put a little deposit down, and then when you bring them back, I'll give you half of it back. How about that?
Well, that seems good to me. You seem like a trustworthy fella.
Well, everybody around here, and we all family.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, you think we could get this little deal of ours in writing? I'm sure you got contracts around for renting horses.
Well, a man is only known by his word, and I put my word there. And he reaches and grabs a Bible and puts his hand on a Bible, and he says, this is my word. If I don't do what I say I'm going to do, I'll be struck by lightning.
That's good enough for me, I say, and I start reaching for like a saddle to put it on one of the horses.
Yes, sir. So how much is this deposit? And she'll pull out her wallet and pay the man.
Yeah, and he asks for you to give him $10, and he'll give you half of it back, or maybe more, depending on. And you can tell the horses are just they're average, normal horses. They're not anything special, but I mean they'll definitely get you in and out around town.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean $10 for two horses seems pretty cheap if we did steal them.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty decent deal. I mean, I'm game. So yeah.
If we stole them, then we'd be, having bounties on our head.
Y'all be hung by a rope.
Yeah, we're not going to hang us on horses. So yeah, we're going to head out following the course of the road, trying to meet the stagecoach, basically.
That afternoon, okay? Y'all want to head out that afternoon? So we'll say by now, it's roughly 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock at the latest. And you're heading out on the road, kind of the road that where Sophie went earlier to go past the Jones farm and head out that way. You can do that, and hopefully meet up with the stagecoach is what you want to do.
Yeah, we want to like guide it in. I mean, I'm thinking that they probably attack relatively close to the town, but not so close. So we want to get out a few miles, and then meet them. So we'll just ride right out there until we come up to them, I guess.
Yep, y'all head out that way, and of course you go past the Jones farm entrance and go past several smaller farms on out further outlying areas where there's really seem to be no people. You don't meet anybody else on the road, any horse riders or wagons or nothing. And you go on further out, and finally you come around a little small bend. There's like some maybe small hill ranges that are coming up, and you go around a small bend there, and you see the stagecoach parked in the middle of the road, and you see one man you see three passengers that are standing out there, and what you would think would be the stagecoach driver standing out there. And you see one man there that looks like this, and he is standing there holding at gunpoint with a double-barrel sawed-off shotgun.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And he's dressed very dapper looking. He's wearing his top hat and very dapper looking like clothing.
Okay. So this doesn't. I look at Sophie, and I say, "Is this a Marconi stage? Marconi stage?"
Yeah, you can tell it's a Marconi stage.
Okay. All right. So I guess we have that. All right. So I'm gonna, since we're in a hilly area, and it seems very unlikely that a single person would rob a stagecoach. I'm assuming there's other people. So I'm going to look at Sophie, and I'm going to veer off the road to the right and go up on some of the hills, go behind the hill, for two reasons: one, to see if there's anybody back there, and two, to get an angle on him if I can, get cover basically.
All right, what are you going to do, Sophie, as she makes her way to try to get cover and stealth?
Sophie is going to put on the best act that she can. She's going to freeze up like she's just been caught off guard, give big doughy eyes, and scream and put her hands up and say, "Please don't shoot me."
Well, now, you're not close enough to you're still a ways off as far as like being right on top of it.
So he hasn't noticed us?
No, at this point he has not noticed y'all. None of the people have.
That's fine. Let's see. I gotta think. Give me 1 second to kind of think to myself how Sophie would handle this.
Mabel, while you're going up, we'll do Mabel then. While you're going up there, roll me a d6 as you're making stealthy move and trying to get around the.
Okay, I got a 4.
Yeah, I mean, as far as you know, you're doing fine. You don't notice any. You haven't seen any signs of anybody up there behind the rocks or nothing. No.
Okay, I want to get up. I mean, I have a shotgun, which the range is not probably fantastic. So I'm going to try to get up as close as I think is safe. Being them moving stealthily, and then I'm going to get off the horse and kind of I'll leave the horse and then I'll walk up a little closer and get on the ground.
All right.
Because I'm not sure. I look back and I see Sophie still sitting in the middle of the road, wondering why she's doing that. So I'm just waiting for her.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, Sophie's going to take off the other direction from Mabel, and she's going to try and do the same thing. Look around and see if she sees anyone.
Yeah, roll me a d6 as you're moving off the road.
Okay. I rolled a 6. I saw everything.
Yeah. Yep, you're pretty confident there's nothing around there. But as you do that, the top hat wearing guy with the sawed-off shotgun, you see him step around the side of the coach, and he looks out in the area of where you're at, and you hear him go, "Well, I don't know who you are up there, but I can hear you moving around. So I advise you to come on down here, and you don't try nothing, out of the way, because, if you do, you won't be having dinner tonight."
Okay.
And he yells it out towards your way, Sophie.
All right. So, yeah, this is fun. Sophie will put on up Dira eyes and say, I promise, I didn't see nothing. Just let me go back to town and no one will know. And she will kind of step out on her, she's riding a horse. She'll, step out with her horse so that
I'm going to call from the other side of the road, and I'm going to say, it's a shame your sawed-off only goes about 15 feet, where my Winchester's going to put a hole in your head before you can empty the second barrel, isn't it? I suggest you drop that right now, sir, or you're going to dirty up a perfectly fine hat.
When you say that, Sophie, you step out, and what kind of, do you wear pistols, or what are you carrying, Sophie, as far as guns?
Yeah, she has a revolver.
All right. Yeah, and Mabel, when you yell that out, he doesn't even look your way. He just says, well, whoever you are, I guess you can watch your friend die. And he will pull both barrels of the shotgun towards you, Sophie.
Jeez. Well, the good thing is he has to reload after this.
Yep, unless he's got another weapon, you're right. Everybody just roll initiative. It'll be, for both of y'all, it's going to be straight D6.
Okay. Oh, geez. This isn't going well. 1.
Oh, no.
2.
A 2, okay. And as he pulls both barrels at the same time, you hear him go, you get to meet Top Hat Toddler. And you're going to be kind of out of range, so I'm going to give him a little bit of minus to hit, because you're not really close in range from the double barrel, but you may get hit by some of it. You're lucky. Both shots scatter off. You hear some of them hit the rocks around you, Sophie, but none of the pellets actually hit into you.
Okay.
And speaking of that, we're up to you, Sophie.
Can Sophie hit this guy with her pistol from here?
Yeah, you got a medium pistol?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say your pistol range. You'll be right at the edge of it, so there's no minuses. So, yeah, you can roll the hit.
Okay, cool. So, she'll pull out her Colt 45 and 2 zigzags. And that's she rolled a 19 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit him.
Yeah, and 3 damage. There's no extra damage for a character level up or anything, right? No. Okay, so nope. 3 damage.
3 damage, okay. Now roll me a D100. See where we hit him at.
Right. 31. No, I'm sorry. I rolled an 8 and play instead of 10s. So it's a 34.
34? All right,
Yeah.
roll me a D6.
And 6.
Oh, that's not good for him. You hit him in the right shoulder, so with a mortal wound. So he will more than likely be dead in about 1 round. Mabel, you see this guy jerk back as the shot goes into his right shoulder somewhere, and he just yells out in pain. Wasn't expecting that at all.
Okay, I'm not gonna. I see the shot looks pretty devastating, and I'm not really that close, so I'm not gonna shoot. But I'm gonna just take my turn to look around and make sure he's definitely alone. Like, I'm gonna look all around 360, make sure nobody's running to help him, and also try to look at his horse if he has one. Or was it on the road?
You see a horse that was by the stagecoach, you would probably just assume it's probably his. You would think.
Right. Okay.
And but yeah, roll me another D6 as you're kind of checking and reconnoitering your area.
Okay. 1 that time.
Yeah, you're very confident. You hear nothing around you at all. Then.
Okay.
We'll roll initiative again. Both of y'all have D6. He'll have a negative to him. Ooh, it's still pretty good roll for him. What'd you get, Sophie?
6.
All right. He had a 6, but he has a 5.
I had a +1 dex modifier, so I don't know if that's a 7.
Yeah, you got a 7 then if you add that. So.
Okay.
And what about Mabel?
I got 2 this time, so I'm getting better.
Sophie, you can tell that wherever you hit him at, this guy is you see him start turning pale face, and you know he's not have much left of him. You hit him in a very bad spot.
And he hasn't reloaded yet, correct?
You have not seen him reload. No, he's not touched his shotgun, but you don't know. It looks like he's probably got a pistol belt on.
All right. I'm gonna just cock my gun to load the next round, and I'm gonna say, now you drop your weapons now, and we might be able to get you some medical attention in time for you to live.
Yeah, as you say that, he looks at you and he starts spitting blood out, and it starts tinging around some of his mustache, and he goes, "Well, you little witch, you can just go to hell with me right now." And he takes out his pistol and shoots at you. His last act of the deal. Ooh. A 19 plus the modifiers, he's still going to hit you.
Yeah.
You'll take 3 points of damage as he pulls out like a medium pistol and hits you.
Okay.
And let's see. Do you want to roll your D100, D6, or do you want me to do it? See where you're hit at.
I'll let you do it, Tony.
All right. He rolled a 51, which is, oh god, it hit you in the abdomen or groin area.
Oh, that's not good.
Let's see what kind of. Oh no. You have a serious wound.
Okay.
So that is going to do. So note down you hit in the abdomen or groin area. You have a serious wound, and you will lose 2 points to strength and 2 points to con right now. So lower your strength and con by 2 and make any modifications you may need to that.
-2 on con and what else?
Strength.
Okay. All right, let's see. I had pretty good rolls, I think. So, con's going to go down by 2. That's going to make it a 5 for now. And a 5 will put me at a -1 for 3.
Yep. So drop 3. So drop 3 HP then.
So I'm technically at max HP. Because it's my max HP that drops by 3, right?
Yep.
Not my actual HP. I think I don't take 3 damage.
No, you just dropped your max by 3 then.
And then what else happens in conjunction with that?
You were hit in the abdomen, groin, and that's it. You have a serious wound right now, and you just took the strength and con loss.
Okay. So no damage per turn taken or anything?
Well, you took the 3 points. Did you make the 3 points of actual damage?
Yeah, but I'm just wanting to make sure there's nothing each turn I take and the next.
Oh no! Right now you're fine.
Okay, cool.
Mabel, you see this guy in his last, to him, I guess, would be heroic effort. Shoot your friend if there's anything you would like to do at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he probably just shoots and then stumbles and falls or whatever. At that point, I'm going to jump up and leading my horse by the reins with my shotgun, kind of in my hand. I'm gonna come down to where the coach is and check to see, first of all, that he's dead. If I get there before Sophie, anyways, and then also that the stagecoach people are okay.
Yeah, once you go down that way, you can see he is falling on the ground. His pistol's kicked out away from him, and his shotgun was thrown on the ground. You can tell that he is no longer living now.
Okay.
All the stagecoach people, just of course completely frightened and white-faced, but they all seem to be uninjured.
Okay. How many are there? Is it full?
Oh, I didn't hear you, Daniel. You cracked up for me.
I'm sorry. Is there a room on the stagecoach for Sophie, because she probably shouldn't be riding a horse if she just gets shot in the gut?
Yeah, there was 3 passengers and the driver, so yeah, there's plenty of room.
Okay. Yeah. So when Sophie comes down from the ridge, I'll say, I'll help her bandage it. Put some pressure on that. We got to get you back to town, and then we'll take you on the stage.
And Sophie comes down. She's gonna like before you're like right before you notice the wound or whatever. Like you're not sure she got hit at first, maybe, and then like you see the blood, and she's like, "You think this is gonna be more painful than childbirth?"
Definitely not. I say. So we're going to, I guess, escort the stage back. I'm curious about this guy, this Tyler.
Yeah, the stagecoach driver tells you that he come out of nowhere off the hills, and he introduced himself as Top Hat Holler, and said he was going to rob them. And the stagecoach driver says he's never heard of the guy before.
Yeah, no, looks like I have a feeling that we're going to get a lot of people trying to make their fortune. So I'm gonna throw this Top Hat guy onto his horse, and tie the horse to the stage so it follows us, and we'll see if there's any bounty on him. Probably not, but he's got stuff, so we'll take it. We'll claim it under.
Yeah, in fact, I can say roll me a d20 as you're going through his stuff.
4.
Yeah, you see that he's actually whatever your shotgun gauge is, his is actually different, so you can tell that you wouldn't be able to use his shotgun shells.
Okay, but I could use that shotgun though, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
All right, so we got a sawed off, and he had a
large pistol which does a d6 plus 1.
Large pistol. Okay. And
y'all are able to definitely head back. You get Sophie back to town. Of course, they have a doctor that can dress her wounds. Roll me never mind, I'll do it. Sophie, the doctor bandages you up for 2. You can get 2 HP back as he tends to your wounds, Sophie.
I'm technically at max because I took 3 damage, and then I lost 3 hit points in con. So I'm technically at max.
That's fine. You'll be, but your damage, your losses are still valid and stuff. But he's able to staunch your wounds and keep them from making anything else happen. You're gonna have to rest, of course, for the rest of the evening at least.
Yeah.
So just as we're driving back, just we don't play it, but I would ask the stagecoach driver. I would say, is it a regular thing that you guys don't have a shotgun here? Because this is now the second coach I've seen in 2 days that didn't have any protection.
Well, a lot of those boys that have been doing that job, they've been scared off by them Vine boys that they don't want to face them, even though they ain't hurt nobody. They don't pay very good to sit up here for shotguns, so a lot of them just don't show up to work.
Gotcha. Kids these days, no work ethic.
No, they all scared of everything.
Yep. Huh. All right. So that wasn't our guy, but that was somebody. Was there anything? When I bring him to the sheriff, does he have any posters on this guy?
Yeah, when you take the guy back, and the sheriff, of course, he does his. This is big news in this small town, bringing back a stagecoach robber, not the right one, of course, but you bring him in. He's involved in it, definitely out there getting his picture taken. But he tells you, well, I've never seen this guy's picture. What'd you say his name was? And the driver, repeats. He introduced himself as Top Hat Holler, but I don't know. I never seen him before.
Okay. Well, somebody's got to put him in the ground, I say. And I look. Does he have nice boots?
Oh yeah. This guy's dressed like kind of like a banker or something. He's dressed like to the gills.
Yeah, I guess I'll do it as subtly as possible without people watching. Maybe I want to basically loot the guy. I'll take his boots if they're worthwhile, and I'll take if he had any money.
You will find. Roll me a d20.
Okay. 3 that time. Jeez, I'm rolling low today. Hopefully I change and shoot somebody.
Yeah, you find $3 on him, and then when you start digging through his boots, you find like a false compartment down there where he had $1 hit also. So
Nice.
4 total. Huh.
$4 and a pair of boots.
Yep.
Hey, you know what?
And a
You gotta
sawed
start
off.
somewhere. And a sawed off and a pistol. That's pretty good. Large pistol. Okay. Yeah, this is the reason why this man died. I tell people is because when he was given the chance to give up, he decided to try to be a hero or a villain in this case. Someone points a gun at you, you better drop your gun, or unless you're willing to die. And I lament.
Yeah, and the sheriff says he's going to send a telegraph to Dodge and surrounding places to see if they can find any information on who this guy was.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else we can really do today. So, and Sophie
Yeah,
needs to.
plus, yeah, I would say you would know the doctor tells Sophie she's got to get at least a good days of bed rest or a couple of days probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, and now we can return the 2 horses, obviously, that we rented, and we'll keep Tyler's horse.
Yep, you can do that, and of course he does his deal he made. He gives you back half of the money, and
All right, so at least we have 1 horse. We can get around now. Because what I'm curious about, depending on how you're feeling, I might take a ride up to those hills on Monday if you're still bedridden.
Yeah. Sounds good. We'll rest up here for the time being. Oh, my husband's gonna kill me. Came out here to get money to repair the bar. Now we're gonna have money to patch me up.
I'll give you the $4. Hey, man, $4 is $4.
Hey, yeah.
That's a decent amount of money.
Yeah. Well, either way, I really want to get this note to those boys. That Jones says that those boys aren't going to come around, but I don't see what his big deal is about letting me, try and contact them anyway.
Well, some people are particular about their property.
Maybe he's just an asshole.
Could be the 2. So I'm going to try to get a lay of the land. I don't know who I would talk to, either the sheriff, who seems pretty useless, or just anybody that kind of knows the area. And I want to try to figure out if I was going to go from the hills, the Smoky Hills, to Jones's property, is there is there a road that goes there? Is there like a most commonly a path? Like because what I'm thinking is I might station myself out there and just like see if I see them going back and forth.
yeah, you would know that just that main road that y'all traveled on and had the encounter just now. That's the main road that you could probably talk to the preacher and probably the saloon owner, and they both would tell you but there's probably some old coyote trails, they call them, that would lead from the hills maybe to run some of these farms, but nobody really uses them that they know of.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why it's good. So I guess it's probably getting dark now, I'm guessing, by the time all that went on.
Oh yeah, we'll say definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's late Saturday evening.
All right. So then I'll just wait until probably Monday, because Sunday we're gonna be in church and whatever.
Yep.
Although
We'll fast forward to Sunday. If you go to services and all that. Preacher Johnson puts on a good sermon, and if you speak to some of the people, it's just pretty much all the same type of news you've heard about. But what y'all been told so far, you really find out nothing new. You would probably see Marcus Jones by the way maybe Sophie described him, and he doesn't speak to you, he just gives you a nod and doesn't really say much to you. But
okay. Is he with anyone? Like, did any of his help come with him?
His wife was with him. You would see.
Okay.
She was a very gruff-looking lady too.
Oh, okay. Gruff. No. All right, then I don't engage in that. If I can find out anything, I just want to know more about those trails. I'll get as much information as I can, and maybe even so much as to see if anybody's willing to do a Sunday walk or a Sunday horse ride just out to that area with me. Just casually, not making it seem like it's business, if you will. 'Cause, I
Yeah,
mean,
Preacher Johnson would go with that afternoon. He says he loves going out into the hills and riding around.
oh, perfect. Yeah, because I just want to get a feel for the area. Because what I'm trying to figure out is if we can like do like a stakeout, between, because I'm still convinced that maybe they go back to the farm. But I'm also we have to be aware of when the next stagecoaches are out on Monday too, because clearly we got to follow that. So
Yeah, you would, if you check the schedules there, you would see that Monday will be a pretty busy day with coaches, coming in and out, and it seems like that's probably going to be definitely a very busy day.
okay, then we'll probably want to then do that on Monday, and if we don't find them by then, we'll try another approach.
But yeah, Johnson will definitely take you out there to the hills and all that, and what they keep calling the coyote trails. You see these small trails, probably animals go, but you don't really see anything, discover anything that would appear anybody's actually people are using for travel back and forth.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% deterred because that's not really my specialty, but at the same time, I know that like that's not my specialty. So if I don't think I can track them, then I won't bother. I'm just trying to get a lay of the land, and then I'll just ride it out until Monday, and hopefully Sophie's ready is gearing to go on Monday, and we'll jump on one of the stages.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let's take us a quick bio break, and we'll come back and see if Sophie's well enough to go travel on Monday.
Okay.
All right, I'm here.
I'm back.
Yep, I'm here too. All right, Sophie's back too. Monday morning, Sophie, as you wake up, what's your con score right now? You said
-3. Oh no, I'm sorry. I just have -3 con, but my con score is at -1.
or if your con score is -1, you're dead.
Oh, my modifier is -1. I have 5 con.
All right, yeah, make me a saving throw at -1 then,
Okay, saving throw at -1. Okay.
and you should need I'm guessing a 13. Yep, 13.
I rolled a 12. I need just shy of what I needed.
And that's with the -1.
No, I rolled a 12, and with a -1, that's an 11.
All right. Yeah, I mean you're feeling better. I mean this doc did some good work on you, but you don't think you're up to going out Monday morning with Mabel.
Yeah, I tell her, I'm sorry, uh, I really don't want you going up there alone because I don't want you getting hurt, but I know I can't make it today.
That's fine, Chow. You rest up. I'm gonna ride the stage. These boys don't hurt anyone. We should be good. I'm gonna actually. I'm gonna see if there's a way I can kind of. Actually, I'm gonna take the sod off.
All right.
And I'm gonna put it in my suitcase. Like I'm gonna take everything out of my suitcase. I got like a little suitcase. I'm gonna take everything out and just put the sod off in there, loaded.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I can like reach in there and fire it if I need to, and that way it doesn't look like I'm armed really. So I'm gonna take that with me and put on like my my traveling hat, and I'll get on one of the stagecoaches in the morning, and I'll do a little bit of back and forth and see if we get anything.
Yep, you get on one of the coaches, and let's see. This one will have. Oh wow, this one only has you and one other passenger on it, and this one. Let's see some of this. Hey, yeah, it's just a driver. They said the gun sidekick didn't show up for the morning, so you able to get on the coach, and of course, I mean you tell the driver really who you are, or would you?
No, actually, I don't. And in fact,
You don't? Okay.
In fact, when he says that the guy with the gun isn't there, I go, "Phew, that's a relief, man. Guns make me nervous."
Perfect. Yeah, you're able to head out then on this. You and one of our pastor, and you can tell it's an older guy, but he's dressed very fine. Maybe he looks like maybe some traveling businessman or something. You would think he's pretty quiet, stays to himself. But roll me a d6 and let's see what the dice will tell us.
3.
Oh man. Yep, y'all had a while, and you hear the stagecoach guy as y'all are moving along. You hear the coach stop, and he goes, "No, we don't want any trouble. No, we don't want any trouble at all." And you hear 2 guys start chuckling and laughing, and they go, "Well, we don't cause trouble. The only thing we want is everything you got that's any valuables." As you look out the window, you see Darren and Mark Vine getting off their horses.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna take my like a piece of my cloth that I have, and I'm gonna like tear 2 quick pieces off of it. I probably should have done this ahead of time, and I'm gonna shove them in my nose as far as I can, and then I'm gonna get my chloroform and splash it on my handkerchief, and keep it low away from me. And then when they get close to the door, I'm gonna act like a fool. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, Lordy, and I'm gonna try to fall out the door onto one of them and put the chloroform on his face.
You see you see the driver get off, and all this is going on, at the same time simultaneously. The driver gets off, and the businessman next to you, I mean, he has this just ghostly look, of course, and Yeah, I'm going to use it random. Let's see which one of them comes up to the door. It'll be Mark, the younger one. Mark comes up to the door as you're doing that, and he says, "Now we ain't gonna hurt you, lady. You just come on down out of there.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh! I don't have anything. I just have what the Lord gave me." And then I'm gonna try to I'm gonna actually like I'm stumbling, I'm getting faint because I'm a woman, and I'm gonna try to follow on him and chloroform him.
I will let you make an attack roll and give you a +2 to hit because you're kind of surprised.
I'm gonna need it. Oh my god, that's pretty good though. 18.
Oh yeah, 18 will hit him then. I am going to make a save for him to see what it does to him.
Come on, baby.
Oh, he failed. You see him start. What perfume are you wearing? And he starts falling on the ground.
Oh my god, are you all right?
Yeah, I mean, it appears that he's going in and out of conscious for sure. The brother Darren was up there closer to the the stagecoach driver.
Yep. I'm gonna make I'm trying to fan him with the handkerchief, but I'm actually putting more chloroform on his face. And I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I don't know what happened. He fainted. It's so hot out here. Trying to get the other brother to come around. He's not armed, right? Doesn't have a gun or anything.
Mark, did he have a gun out? You mean?
Yeah. Well, does he have one on him at all?
Oh yeah, he had his pistol out.
Oh, he did. Oh, he's on the ground near me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna slide it closer to me if I can without being obvious, but I'm not gonna pick it up.
Let me see how if you're noticed. You start doing that. The brother Darren runs around with a pistol out and he says, "Lady, I don't think you want to go to. Well, you look like a heaven lady. I don't think you want to go to heaven today. I'd take your hand off that and get away from my brother."
He's passed out here. Oh my god. And I'm gonna try to start to get up and then be kind of wobbly and lean against the coach, like I'm trying to use it for support. And I'm gonna kind of be looking at him out of the corner of my eye because I'm sure he's gonna walk up to his brother. But I'm going to keep my head kind of low, and I'm gonna try to reach forward and grab my suitcase with the sawed off.
So you left the pistol later when he told you, right?
Yeah. I was just kind of I was just trying to touch it, but if he said stay away from it, I act very oh my god, and I I'm scared, and I do exactly what he says. But I get up and I kind of on stumbly legs because I'm I'm very faint. I walk up to the coach and lean on it like I'm using it for support. That way I can reach inside with my hand to try to get my bag that's in there.
Let me see if he pays how much attention he's going to pay to you. He's got an eye on you, but he's moving towards his brother. Of course, he still has his pistol pointed at you. The businessman, of course, he looks like he's about to faint too. He's walked off next to the stagecoach driver, but he's got an eye on you for sure. But I mean,
all right. So this is what I'm going to do.
Well, I tell you what, roll unless you want to continue doing that.
Well, yeah, my plan is when he gets close, because he's got his gun pointed at me, I'm watching him out of the corner of my eye. As soon as I think that he might look away for a second at his brother, I'm going to pull the sawed off and I'm going to try to hit his hand with it. My goal is to knock the gun out of his hand because I don't want to shoot him yet. Whatever. I mean, if he never looks down at the brother and he does something else, then I'll do something else. But that's my plan.
Roll me. Wow, I tell you what, just roll me 3d6 against your dex.
Okay. Oh geez. All right, my dex is 10. I only have 2d6, so I'll roll a 2. I go. Oh no, that's a 7. Let's see what this one is. Oh, and 1. That's 8. That's below 10.
8 total. Yeah. You're able to grab the shotgun and you swing around towards him as he's checking his brother, and it's about the time he stands up and sees that you're doing something. But you're able to. So just roll it to hit, and you can have a +2 to hit again.
Oh boy, come on, D20. Oh, that's a 13 plus 2. Do I get my regular plus as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so then +2 plus 2, so +4, so 17.
17 will hit him, and we'll say a D6 minus 1 damage.
Okay. Oh, 5. Aha.
Yep, you hit into him as you hit into him.
Yeah, I'm trying to knock the gun away so he doesn't shoot me. Basically.
For that, just roll me a D20. We'll see if you're lucky enough to knock it out of his hand.
All right, let's see. 3.
Actually, I picked low, so you're able to knock his pistol out of his hand. And as this goes on, let's roll initiative because
Okay.
you notice that he's wearing a double gun belt.
Oh boy. Of course he is.
So you can actually have a +1 to your initiative since all this is going on. I'm gonna give him a -1 as he's kind of surprised all of this.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised I'm doing this myself. I got a 4 total, 3 + 1.
Oh wow, he had a 5 -1, so he has a 4. You get to go first though.
Okay, well then I'm gonna spin. I'm just gonna spin the shotgun around I'm like a foot away from him with the 2 barrels, and I'm gonna say to him, "I suggest you don't draw your gun because I don't want to have to hurt your son. I know you're hurting inside, but what you're doing is wrong."
Well, who in the hell are you? And pardon my language, I'm a God-fearing man.
I know about your father, and I know that it's hard to lose a parent. I never knew my father, but I gotta tell you, they're coming to get you. They got a bounty on your head right now, and right now they want you alive. But I'm gonna tell you, you rob a couple more coaches, it's going to be dead or alive, and the more ruthless people are going to come for you, son. I don't want that.
At this point, you see his brother start stirring, and he's what's going on here? As Darren starts waking up, and he looks up, of course, and sees you standing over him with the shotgun. He goes, "Well, lady, what you doing with that shotgun? That looks like a mite too much for you to handle." But he's still in his daze coming out of the.
So I say, son, I'm giving you redemption. You can look at this like the power of the Lord right now. I found the Lord, and you can too. And I know that you're God-fearing, and I know that you done wrong, but that don't mean you need to die today. Ain't nobody got to die.
You hear a noise. You hear a noise over next to you, kind of like that, and everybody looks that way, and you see the businessman has fainted and fell out.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna call for the driver too at this point. I'm gonna say, driver, get over here and take the guns from these boys. I think they're about ready to confess to their sins.
Yeah, and as you do, you see Mark is reaching for his gun belt. He says, no, keep your hand off them triggers. I'm undoing this gun belt. And you see he is. He's starting to undo it's still got the one pistol on one side, but he's starting to undo it. And Darren, of course, Darren's pistol was laying on the ground. You notice that he wasn't wearing a double gun belt. He says, well, brother, he said, well, I tell you what, lady, if you're going to take us in, why don't you quote me a verse in the Bible first? Our father was a man of God, and it appears that you appear to have that same fear.
So I say to him, I say, son, I tried to write you a letter, but that Jones wouldn't let me on the property. And I'll tell you right now, in Romans 12:19, don't seek revenge yourself, beloved, but give place to God's wrath. For it is written, vengeance belongs to me. I will repay, says the Lord.
They both look at each other. They don't respond after you finish. They both look at each other. And the older one, Darren, he looks and he says, well, maybe we'll just serve a few years in prison. I don't think they're going to hang us because we ain't hurt nobody out here as far as a gunfight.
Actually,
Mark,
do I know that?
Do what now?
Sorry. Do I know whether or not they would do that?
To give them prison time?
Yeah, do I know that it's a hanging charge or not?
You wouldn't know. It could go either way, but with them, actually, that they haven't hurt anybody physically, they haven't killed anybody or shot anybody, may be lenient that they may get just a prison sentence.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Didn't interrupt.
Of course, it'll be a lengthy one, though. Huh.
Yeah. Well, and I say, son, I will stand at trial and tell them that you gave yourselves in peacefully and you didn't fight. And maybe my word will go somewhere for you.
Well, the dice have determined the outcome of this. Luckily, the dice have determined, Mabel, you got to do some things. So as you all head back into town, why don't you just tell me how the story is going to end, Mabel, as you take them two back in town? And they give up?
Yeah, so Mabel, she, make sure that the guns are secure or whatever and away from them. And we sit in the cab with them, talking and about, I tell them a little bit about my past and, how I found redemption and that it seems to me that a boy should revenge his father, but you got to do it from within, the way of the law, because that's the way the land is. But that I'm actually I knew that they were good souls because they didn't hurt anybody, but that's why we didn't come out here guns firing. Unlike the man that got killed 2 days ago, who wasn't a good soul, and I, we get back, I stand at trial if I'm asked, and I even soften it a little bit, not really mentioning that I had to fight them so much, more that I just talked to them and that they came in peacefully, to try to get them the lowest sentence possible for what they did.
All right, sounds great to me. Sophie, there's a loud commotion in town as all these people ride back in town, and you hear this commotion going on as you're resting. Why don't you tell me maybe what you were doing at that point as they all come back in town, as you see Mother Mabel bring them back in at gunpoint, and how it's going to end for Sophie?
Yeah, Sophie is laying in bed in the room that they have, and she had her bed pushed up against the window so she could look out. Of course, she does that just for security reasons anyway. But yeah, she looks out the window when she sees Mabel riding back into town, and Mabel probably knowing where Sophie is and everything, looks up in the window and gives a nod, letting Sophie know that everything went okay. Sophie heads back to town after a few days of resting up and everything. She and Mabel return back to their town eventually, and yeah, her husband is pretty upset at her. Like, oh, you were supposed to go out and get bills to help pay for the tavern. Now we just end up owing a doctor, and whatever. I'll just go again. And for the rest of her days, Sophie, maybe it was that, maybe just because it's what the Lord had in mind for her to do, or maybe it was that gunshot she took to the abdomen area. But she never has kids, and so she continues bounty hunting for the rest of her days.
All right, both stories sound perfect endings for me. So I will tell you how the story is really going to end. We'll start out with the top hat guy. You will find out a wire comes back. The top hat hauler was a banker from back east, and he was evidently embezzled a bunch of money from a bank, so he fled. And you'll find out they actually had $1,000 reward on him. The U.S. Marshals did. So y'all were able to collect the reward, that $1,000 reward for him also. Yeah, he was. They wanted him bad. Evidently, he had embezzled quite a bit of money, and they're looking for it. But Top Hat Holler is no longer with us. On your way back to town, Mabel, with the Vine brothers, the older one would be the one that would talk more. To you, and he says, "Well, and then the lady," he said, "I got to admit, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and it looks like He worked pretty mysterious with sending you to be the one to bring us in. And he that goeth forth and weepeth. Me and my brother, we've been weeping all our lives because our daddy got killed on a stagecoach robbery. And we decided by learning that verse and looking at that verse that, it was time to bear some precious seed and come again with rejoicing and bring our sheaves with them. And we figured the way to do that would be go and rob some stagecoaches and use the money to pass along to people who needed it. But we meant no harm physically to anybody, of course. But wow, the Lord works in mysterious lady. I never thought a lady would bring us back to justice." You go to their trial. They both were sentenced to 20 years in prison. that's pretty how much it ends. The stagecoach robberies, they pretty much cease in that area. There's, like you say, there's a few other ones that were trying to make a name for themselves at the scene, but they pretty much end. And that is the end of White Box Western Bounty Hunters. Is the ending turned out to be one of peaceful. And thank both of y'all for surviving and playing.
Yeah, it's really fun. Thanks.
Yep.
That was a good one.
This is a fun system to play.